Okay, now that we have our grid drawn out and on both of our paper and our um, opposite picture that we're going to actually try to draw, we want to start to lay out some of our shapes, so basic shapes. You know, it doesn't matter where you start, you can start wherever you want, but you want to try to use the picture and the grid together to help you, kind of lay out the drawing, and it to be, the size or the correct size that you want it to be. Here when you're using a pencil, it's a little bit easier because you can, simply erase, or, it's, if you're drawing light enough, it's not going to really matter if you make a little mistake or something, as long as you're drawing really light, because these are just a basic outline, basic shape of your image. I like to start with like the nose and the mouth because they're attached to the actual part that we're actually drawing. And I'm trying to connect across, certain parts of the grid to try to help me make sure that everything is the correct size. I'm looking at my actual picture over here, and I'm kind of, trying to decide, okay, where on the grid here does it touch? And I'm just trying to make the simple lines. I'm not trying to, draw the whole lip all at once. I can't just stamp it down and make it like, a whole lip like instantaneously. It's going to take small steps, and trying to just, make little parts at a time. I don't like to have shapes, so when I'm drawing mine, I'm slowly like shadowing some stuff, trying to make the lines that I created disappear, because there really aren't any, lines in a face drawing. We'd have, we have lips, but they're not like just a big thick line. We're gonna have to value all this later. But right now, all we're really trying to do is just to basically get the idea, the basic shape of everything, and where it kind of is located on your drawing. So, it's mostly that's what we're trying to do right now. So I'm just trying to get the basic ideas. Same thing with like the nose. If I can start from the basic spot of the nose and I can work my way over, trying to figure out where in coordination with the two it's going to sit. So, and then just kind of try to make that same shape there that you would have, on, your actual drawing part. So you make it the right size. It's going to be, basic thickness. Noses are hard to make because noses have no lines, absolutely none. And we got to make all these little parts that we're going to make now. These are all going to disappear. It's either going to be a dark shadow or the lighter skin, or I'm going to shadow all of this area of the nose here, just like this is just all shadow. We're going to try to shadow that all later. Right now we're just trying to get the basic size of those objects, and just so it looks a semblance of the way we want it. The eye can be a little bit more difficult, but that's what this grid is so great for, because if you kind of really think about where it's located, I like to draw the interior part of the eye. So when I look at it, let's look at part on here, like I want to draw this white part of the eye, all of this part, and I'm going to try to locate it, on the grid as best I can. How far away is it? But I want to draw that white part first. So when I do that, what I try to do is just, look at where it's located on the grid. So this edge of the white starts right about there. It's going to go up, to about there. It's going to come down. I'm looking at the eye part, so it's going to come down to about here. It's going to keep coming across. It's going to come about that close. Maybe just kind of draw a little dotted line of it. That looks like about the shape. And so I'm going to just try to connect those dots on my paper. And this is just the white part of the eye, so it's the smallest portion of the eye, and that's one of the things we got to remember. Like, we got to go back, and then we got to add like the thicker parts of your skin in there, and the eyelid has that thickness to it, and that kind of connects up here, and we got all of this dark makeup and eyelashes up here. We have the eye, and comes just in front of this line, starts down here, and then it kind of wraps around. And we're just trying to make it, look pretty similar. And I like to always get this kind of pupil, make it look like it's looking at me a little bit. I want to leave that little white glimmer in the eye, and I like to just make it look like it's just, got a little bit of something going on. And then I like to color in a lot of this because, this is going to be thicker, and we're just going to look more like the picture a little bit. So I like to make it, kind of throw in some of these eyelashes just really quick. They're not perfect, but they're going to be super light at this point, and so we're not really going to see most of them anyways. Like up here, we can't even see any eyelashes. It's just all thick makeup up here. And then, this is, you have that little fold of the skin, like where the eyelid is, and that just kind of comes through here. Something like that, but, like I said, right now it's just a matter of trying to get that basic shape down, kind of figure out where everything is kind of located. If I'm drawing light enough, I can always erase this stuff later if I don't like it, or if it's just kind of in my, it's not looking the way I want it to, or whatever it might be. I'm just trying to get the basic shapes of everything in there. Like, what does this eyelash kind of look like, or eyebrow look like? It's just kind of, where does it come up? Where does it come? If you follow your grid a little bit, and then just have it kind of work its way. Like right now, if this is super light, it's just going to be a basic shape. And then lastly, I like to kind of go through and try to do a little bit of, get the face in there, the thickness of the face. And I'm doing the same kind of concepts here, just kind of, following some shadows. I'm following parts of the face. Where does it cross the grid line? I don't want that to be a solid, line really, because I'm going to make that line disappear later again.